Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy Moss, and this is The Real Life. I'm the real Amy Moss. REAL is the acronym that I came up with to live radiant, elevated, aligned, and liberated. Because I believe to live a truly holistic life, those things are all happening. And I just want to encourage you to live the best life that you can. But how are you going to elevate your life? Are you doing the things that you want to do? Are you living the life that you want to live? If you always want to grow and you always want to be aligned and living the highest version of yourself that you can, you can. But you have to get in tune with yourself. And for me, that's how it worked out. I started a spiritual journey when I was 27 years old because I just wanted to go on this search for the meaning of life. I didn't know if I wanted to get married and have children. I didn't know if I wanted to just be a career person. I didn't really know. And I feel like that we are so conditioned to live life a certain way, the way that our parents want us to live it or our friends are living it. And I hear so many people right now in their 20s thinking, like if they're in their late 20s and they're like, have I waited too long, or is it too late to start over, or have I missed the boat? And the answer is a resounding no, you have not. You will always be becoming more and more and more in this life. When you want to walk a spiritual path and you want to be conscious of your journey, listen, the truth is, Abraham Hicks says this, but you can't fuck it up and you can't get it wrong. And you'll never get it done. You try to come from a place of allowing, where you're allowing the things that you want into your life. You get very, very clear about what you want in this life, and then you go for it. You just totally go for it. There is no blueprint for the way that your life has to be, and you get to create it and make it whatever you want it to be. If you want a lot of money, then make a lot of money. Money is just energy. It's just an exchange. There's no emotional tie to it. So heal that relationship with money and go for it. If you want to have children, you want to get married and have children, do that. But ask yourself, is this really what I want? Get very, very clear on what you want. And I promise you, when you spend that time with yourself and you keep writing and journaling and getting very, very clear about what you want in this life, then you can start to solve for those things. Just because you got a degree in education like I did doesn't mean you have to be a teacher for your whole life. If you got a degree in law, you don't have to be a lawyer your whole life. You may decide that you want to quit your work and sail around the world. There's a guy on Instagram right now sailing around the world who was a teacher. That's what he wanted to do. We really have such a short life, and we get one life, and we come here to live that life to the fullest that we want it to be. So I just think you have a responsibility to yourself to do that, however that looks. I've heard people say, like, no, you've made your bed, now you lie in it, and shit like that. And it's not true. You don't have to lie in any fucking bed. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Do we make choices in our lives that make us have certain responsibilities that we have to tend to? Sure, but it doesn't mean that you're stuck in that life. You never are stuck. You always can have more and more and more, and you get to elevate as many times as you want to. And it doesn't matter if you're 20 or you're 40 or you're 60, you can reinvent yourself, you can start over, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do in this life. And if you haven't read the book by Mark Manson about the subtle art of not giving a fuck, he talks about, like, it's not that you don't give a fuck, you decide what fucks you want to give. But I think that so many people, and I see so many really young people, living their life in a way that they think is going to please everyone else. And at the end of the day, the only person in this life that you have to please is you. That's it. You want to start a YouTube channel? I decided I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a long time. And I just said, I'm doing it. Like, I'm doing it. I don't know if what I say or have to share resonates with anyone, but the truth is we can't mess it up. We can't get it wrong. We share what we have, and we all have our own story. We all have our own unique way to share things. And so we just do the things that we want to do. I talk a lot about weight loss and about getting healthy, and I do think you have a responsibility to take care of your temple and to eat healthy. But if you're carrying extra weight that you can't get rid of, there's a reason. There's a reason. You're holding on to that weight for a reason. It is insulating you in some way. It is protecting you in some way. But for me, my struggle with weight and binge eating when I was younger, really once I started down a spiritual path and really started learning to love myself, just that struggle got less and less and less over time. So now I just love putting good food in my body, green juices and smoothies and real food. And it's not to say that I don't have other foods that aren't considered super healthy all the time. I'm not perfect, I'm human, and I'm going to enjoy my life. But there are ways that you can do that where you're still honoring yourself and loving yourself. And I think that the way that we are as humans, we're so all unique that everything we do is art. We are creating art with our life. The way we cook is art. The way that we dress is art. The way that we decorate our homes or our spaces where we live is art. Everything that we have to offer is very artistic and unique. And I just want to encourage you to be you and to do the things that bring you joy, because that is what you are on this planet to do. So drop the resistance. Don't push against. Don't focus on the not having of the things that you don't have. Just get very clear on what you want and move in the direction of those things. Make a list. Journaling helps. And I'll tell you what I love the most about journaling. When you are writing, you can't imagine. You can free write, and you can't imagine all the things that will come up as you're just writing and writing and writing. It's so profound. But the best thing that happens when you're journaling is that all of these programs that are running in your subconscious mind, it's like all of these tabs that it would be open on a computer. When you write, all of that stuff that's in there playing in the background gets to come up and out and gets written on the paper. And the more of that stuff that you keep purging up and out of you and up and out of you is more space that you're creating for new. And for you to fill your own self with the love that you want. I think a lot of people think they're going to find their answer in a relationship or in food or in alcohol or whatever it is. The relationship that you are seeking is the one with you. And it is the most important relationship that you will ever have. And the thing about relationships is that you will attract the person that will be the perfect match for you, even when we call that person a narcissist or they're toxic or whatever. You attracted that person for a reason, because they are mirroring back to you the parts of you that need to be healed. So you can cut those relationships off and go find another and go find another. I've been there. And you keep attracting the same person in different skin over and over. And what it does is it creates this victim mentality where we are not taking responsibility for our own selves and our own path and our own choices. But we are never a victim. We are always a volunteer. And when you realize that everything that's going on in your life, every person in your life, every circumstance in your life is a direct reflection of you, then you will realize that you have to take responsibility for that and learn how to overcome that and fix that to get to where you want to be. There's so many people that just get a payoff for being a victim, really. They get a lot of attention and get a payoff for that. So they just become victims their whole lives. You have to take responsibility for the choices that you have made. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you are in and out of 10 different relationships or marriages, so what? It doesn't matter, because at the end of this life, what had meaning in our life, we assign the meaning to that. It just is. It's not good or bad. It just is. So when you're in a relationship that you think is toxic or isn't healthy, sure, you can get out. But if you haven't healed those parts of yourself that attracted that person, you will attract another one like that. So my advice would be, and the things that I have done in my own relationships, is turn eyes in, look inward towards you, and just keep focusing on loving yourself and honoring yourself and doing the things that bring you joy. And eventually, when you start talking about to yourself the things that you really want in a relationship, if that person doesn't have those things, sometimes they become the person that you're looking for. Sometimes, and sometimes they don't. But you have to leave a relationship from being in that place of alignment, because if you don't, you're going to go attract someone else just like that. If you can turn the eyes in and focus on you and fill your own cup first, then you will start to just move towards the things that bring you happiness, the things that bring you joy. And that relationship will just fall away on its own, because it doesn't meet your preferences or your standards any longer. But when you're in a relationship, it's never too late to set new standards for yourself, because we're constantly becoming new versions of ourselves every day. I say that every day when I get up, I'm giving birth to a new me. It's a new day. It's a new me. And right when I first wake up, the first thing I do when my feet touch the ground, before I stand up off of my bed, and I learned this from Wayne Dyer, is to say thank you. Thank you. Because I attract all of these experiences into my life, and I'm thankful for all of them. Regardless of how hard the lessons are or whatever it is that I need to do to get to where I want to be, I am grateful for all of those things that have happened in my life, all those relationships that I've had, and I bow in gratitude. And when you can have gratitude for all of it, no matter what it is, then you can bless it and move on to better and better and better things that are the things that you want in this life. But you have to get so clear. You have to know what you want and get clear on the things that you want, and then you can move in the direction of those things. I think sometimes we think that we have to struggle or we have to overcome to deserve the good things that we want in life. And it doesn't have to be that way either. It just gets to be easy if we want it to be easy. It's the law of assumption. You assume that you can make X amount of money. You assume that you can have the relationship that you want, and you act as if, and those things will come to you. You assume that you can lose the weight that you want to lose or be the healthy person that you want to be. But when you're focusing on the things you don't want, you're attracting more of the things that you don't want. So you just keep moving in the direction of what you want in this life. Esther Hicks says, you will listen to your inner being. You get aligned and listen to your inner being say, come this way, come this way. And that way you never have to push against what you don't want. There doesn't have to be struggle or conflict. You just keep honoring what is true to you, always, over and over. If you got any value from this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. Apparently the YouTube algorithm likes that, and it helps me, and I'll be very, very grateful. And hopefully I will see you in the next video.